Here is question 9 on linear relations, and we are trying to understand how to plot graph for a given situation. The question is, a carpenter can make 4 chairs in a day. Display this information on a graph for 5 days. Explain the choice of scale and type of graph drawn. Now in such a situation, before we draw a graph, let's try to make a table. So we can say the independent variable for us here is time, and that time is given in days. So we call it, let's say, time t, and the unit is days. And the dependent variable here is number of chairs. So let's call it c as number of chairs. Now if we read the question once again, it says a carpenter can make 4 chairs in a day. That means in one day 4 chairs can be made. So in 2 days we can make 4 times 2, 8. 3 days plus 4, 12, like that. Display this information on a graph for 5 days. So 4 and 5, let's keep on adding 4 here, or we can multiply by 4. 4 times 4 is 16 and 4 times 5 is 20. So that is how you can get all the values in a table. And then you can plot these on the graph. So we can write independent variable time in days along the x-axis. So we get time in days. And here we have number of chairs. So we have c as number of chairs, right? So let me write number of chairs. Another question is to use appropriate scale. Now for 5 days we get 20 chairs, and how many boxes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we could use 2 for 1, right? Just to go up to the top. The other option could be, we are going by multiples of 4, why not use 4, right? Yeah. So for the time being, we'll just scatter it, and we will use 1 division as 2. So 2 divisions will be 4. So that becomes 4, 8, 12, 16, kind of 20, right? So that is our scale. And on the time, we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That will spread out the information evenly, right? So that is our scale. So we have this as 1 day, 2 day, and so on. And here we have numbers as, let me write on inside, normally it should be written here. Okay, so going up by 4s. And that's 0, right? So now let's plot the graph. As you can see, if we take 0 as no days, then no chair is built, right? So we could always have a 0 here, correct? Now 1 day, 4 chairs. So 1 day, 4 chairs. 2 days, 8. 3, 12. 4, 16. 5, 20. So we see a pattern. Now the question here is, should we connect these points or not? Think about it. This is a discrete data. Here we cannot connect these points, since during the day we cannot make like 4.5 chairs at the end of the day. We are talking about chairs at the end of the day, right? We don't know which minute how many chairs, correct? Second, chairs can be made as a whole. We don't have any meaning for half chair, 1.5 chair, and things like that. So this kind of information, if given to you, then you should plot with discrete points without connecting them. So that is one thing. Now how can you represent this information in the form of an equation? From the data we can see that number of chairs is 4 times the number of days. So we can represent this as an equation also. equation will be, let me write here, C equals to